Hello everyone and welcome back to another Co-Stars video. I'm here with David and today we're going to be doing a bit more of a chill video and that's going to be analysing the Resident Evil 8 village map. Now this is not something that many people are speaking about, to be fair. I've heard like it has cropped up in conversations here and there, but from what I know not many people are like analysing this. So I thought, you know what, why not? I know a lot of people seem to think this is spoilers as well, so just to put that out there, this isn't spoilers. This is in the collector's edition. As you can see from the screenshot we are showing here, the Chris statues next to it, this is literally out there. Like Capcom have put this out there. They know what they're doing. You know, it's
on their website too.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the best quality by any means. Like it's very blurry and stuff, but this is the best image we could get from it. I know there is another one floating around up there where it's like an actual square picture of the map, but this one is, if you just go onto, I don't know, GameStop, I think it is in the US, or Game, and zoom in on the collector's edition pre-order, you get an actual better image than the one that is floating around. So that's what we've done here. It's not by a lot, but just a little bit. So jumping right into it, as you can see with the village map here, there's a bunch of stuff to get into. Not much you can sort of make out what certain things are saying. So stuff like this, you can barely make it out. It says like something house, that this is definitely house. Yeah. So it's small things like that. I'm pretty sure this says Maiden and wine. That's what it looks like it says, right? You can't be sure because it is blurry as shit, but I'm pretty sure that says Maiden of wine, I think that says, which would make sense considering, you know, you had that file in the demo where it mentions Maiden's blood and how that fits into wine. Yeah. So I don't know how that could fit in, but it does make sense for it to say that. So there's a bunch of little details on this map that you can actually make out. So the first thing I think we should talk about is the village section. So this is presumably where the game is going to start, I think. Yeah. I think that's what they're hinting at anyway.
That's what it seems like, and you can see the graveyard just above it. We saw gameplay. Yeah. In that gameplay showcase, we saw Ethan walking through that graveyard, and above it is the doors to the castle. Yeah. Really.
That's how we know. That's how we know this is the graveyard, because you see those doors when Ethan's walking through the graveyard. So we know this is the graveyard here, and you're going to need to put something in these doors to go to Castle Dimitrescu. So that's going to be very interesting. Whether you find it in the village or not, I'm not entirely sure. But
yeah, you're probably going to have to go to certain parts of this map to get those parts to put in the door. But yeah, I've just noticed to the left of where it says Maiden of Wine. I mean, if it does say that, does that say ceremony? The one to the left. That's interesting ceremony, because that's in the center of all four quests.
Wait, that makes perfect sense. That does make perfect sense. You do talk about a ceremony.
Yeah, is that
is a good catch? And it's amazing how we was literally analysing this map prior to doing a video, just to you know, just to get some insight before actually doing a video, so we don't jump in completely clueless. Yeah. But we didn't come across that ceremony.
I was just looking at that while you were speaking, and I was like, hold on a second, ceremony. And
look, I know that's blurry, but I'm certain that does say ceremony.
It would make sense considering, like, if you look at all four of those house crests and look to the right there of the map. Right, something's in the middle. So
hold up, look, that is a good point, Dave. Ceremony site, I think that could say, there's an S. Ceremony site, and look over here. What you mentioned earlier off camera, we were speaking about this section
one
here.
Of the kings.
It looks like there's a big dip here. Like it looks like an important area. This looks like, I don't know, some sort of statue.
It's one of the kings. Big, you know, like where it says has all the houses on that one screenshot on the website.
Right. Yeah.
You see like the four kings or whatever, and I think that's one of them. Of course.
Yeah. That's a really good point. The ceremony site. But what is very odd is, why is the ceremony? That means you start off very near the ceremony site, presumably. You do. You're making your way through the village. But this is an overview, isn't it? Like, this is an overview of the map, so maybe that's not as close as it seems. In game, that's probably a good distance away, basically.
Hold on a second. I've actually just noticed something else. Where that king is sitting, that's literally four kings, and it's in a circle. Can you see it? There's one to the left, another one to the right.
Yeah, that's a king.
So that's where it takes place. That's where the ceremony takes place.
This is the ceremony. This is the ceremony site. I only caught onto this before. I don't know why we didn't.
I'm just noticing.
I think it's because we've enlarged the image.
Yeah, I'm just noticing while we're recording this. Because I always thought the thing to the right, it's like a circle. I thought, oh, maybe that goes underground. You know how Resident Evil games love to have underground lab or of some sort at the end of their games. But I mean, that could still be a possibility. But yeah, just noticed that. That's where the ceremony is taking place.
So this is presumably where the end of the game's going to take place. I mean, you'd assume that they mentioned the ceremony. It seems that's where you're going to see Mother Miranda, and that's where this, whatever they're going to do, this baptism or whatever the fuck it's going to be with Rosemary Winters with the baby, whatever that's going to be is going to take place at the end of the game. That's what you'd think, anyway. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not now looking at this. I'm not entirely sure with the structure of the map, because from what we've seen at the minute from the trailers, it looks like you start off around like this area in some sort of forest area. You make your way to the village, and then from there through the village to Castle Dimitrescu. That's the way they've structured it at the minute. That may not be the case, because we do hear in the trailer Lady Dimitrescu does mention Ethan's escaped that full Heisenberg, which suggests that prior to going to Castle Dimitrescu, he's encountered Heisenberg, presumably at Heisenberg's
Rumored
factory.
To be in the factory.
Yeah. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. How you'd start off here, make your way all the way down to Heisenberg's factory, and then all the way up to Castle Dimitrescu. I don't know how this game's going to play out. Is it going to be like an open world type of
game? It
does
seem
Not necessarily
that way.
Open world, but like, you know, a more open version of any Resident Evil game we've ever seen before. It could be like
The
that.
thing is, with how slow you run on the RE engine, it would be a bloody nightmare. If you're trying to look for something, like imagine you're all the way at the reservoir. You have to go all the way to Castle Dimitrescu. That would take bloody ages. It would be a nightmare. Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Ethan's got to get his fucking rollerblades on to get down there.
Yeah, we know from one of the trailers, or a few of them actually, we see that the house burns down where you have all the werewolves. So I'm guessing that location,
that is somewhere in the village.
Yeah, you don't go there again after that, of course. Maybe.
So yeah, that brings us to like the overview of the map, which is what I wanted to get into before. I was caught off guard by David catching the ceremony site there. I'm certain that's what it says. And the Four Kings, it makes perfect sense.
And I'm sure one of the ones that I've noticed that, but yeah, I mean, I only noticed one, and then just like staring at this now while you're talking, I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You can see the arched, like sitting on a chair. You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it. And it's something here as well. I can't really see anything here, but that is certain to be 4 kings from the 4 houses. That is a good eye. That's a good idea. So, in terms of this map, right? This is unlike any other map we've seen in Resident Evil before. Unlike any. In Resident Evil 4, it looks so different and it's so exciting. Are we going to actually be able to explore willingly? Like, maybe we can choose to go to one of these 4 locations as we please. Which I don't personally think is going to be the case, but it's a possibility considering how open this map looks.
I would love that.
Yeah, I'd like that too, to be fair. I mean, I wouldn't want the game to be too linear. Like, I don't like how linear Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 are, where there is literally just no exploration at all. It is point A to point B to point C to point D, etc. Like, I don't like those sort of Resident Evil games. I'd like it to be a bit more open, but still like very linear, if that makes sense. I think you get what I mean. Much like just how the old Resident Evil games are, where there's multiple ways to go, but the exploration is there basically, and I think we're going to get that. And judging by how many locations we have on here, this is going to be a big ass game. Like, it really is. Look at all these locations, man. This is, I'm guessing this is going to be around the length of like a Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, like one of the more long Resident Evil games. I think this is going to be around that.
Yeah.
Like, it isn't going to be like Resident Evil 7 length, where it's quite short.
It's possible it could be that length because, like you said, how big the map is. But then you also got to take into consideration, could there be something that happens in the story where you'll have to play as Chris, or if Ethan gets captured and then there's a time skip, you wake up somewhere else. It could be one of those things, very story based.
Right. Yeah. Playing as Chris is a good point. That didn't cross my mind at all, really.
Well, yeah, because like with a map this big, you got to think to yourself, like, if Ethan's going somewhere, he's trying to look for Rose. That's what it said on the objective during the showcase.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah, he go to Castle Dimitrescu. Yeah. He's not going to be going anywhere else.
Exactly.
Is he?
I don't want to get too much into story stuff because we have videos coming up on that, and we spoke a bit about like the Umbrella and all that, their involvement. But
right.
Yeah, Chris, he clearly goes after Ethan because there seems to be a crash, or unless he waits back at the home.
Right, which we're not going to get too much into because we do have a video coming out.
Yeah.
We've analysed the trailer like so in depth, and we have like a small story we could put together that could make sense as to where the plot of Resident Evil 8 is going to start. Basically, you know, I don't to keep it short, we don't think Chris is evil in the slightest.
No.
Like, that is not crossing our minds at all. They're painting him and trying to give off this vibe, but I don't think it's like that at all. I think there is way more than that meets the eye, and we'll have a video coming about it soon. But that is why we think you could end up playing as Chris. Basically, that does make sense. Like, you could end up playing as Chris. That way, you could explore some of these locations without Ethan having to go directly to there, because it seems like he literally goes from the village to the castle. That's what it seems anyway. Obviously, that's all speculation.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like the Resident Evil 7, like the way that was done. The way Resident Evil 7 was done is how I'm thinking, because you play as Mia at the end and you got to save Ethan. They could have that same kind of layout.
I mean, Ethan does get, well, from what we've seen, gets captured.
He gets taken by Lady Dimitrescu, yeah.
Lady, yeah, she like pins him up on something, which is something again we mentioned in one of our, I think it's the Elsina Dimitrescu video. She pins him somewhere. It looks like he does get caught by them. So I'm thinking that could be like, you could switch between Chris and Ethan throughout the game. Like that could very well happen.
Yeah, I mean she hangs him up on that like light or whatever it is.
It's got to be something like that. It's some sort of hook. She definitely hangs him up somewhere.
It's on like a hook.
100%.
Yeah, because you noticed it in one of the first trailers, where there's blood behind her on the hook, and then in one of the latest ones they've taken that away. So I'm not sure what that's about.
It's like maybe like I don't know, like
early version.
Early version, an early concept they had, and they just removed it. But there's definitely blood on that thing. Yeah, I'll put comparison pictures here anyway, so you can see.
Yeah, he's probably meant to be hung up there, and they changed it. Who knows? But overall, I just think if you play as two separate characters, then you'd have to go around the whole map, because it would be kind of strange, like especially with how slow the RE engine is. Imagine how long it would take you to go from like Heisenberg's factory to Castle Dimitrescu. I mean,
or like Heisenberg's factory to the bloody mill, whatever this mill is up here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's taking bloody ages.
I mean, it is possible that you have access to the whole map. You can just run around, go from like Castle Dimitrescu to Heisenberg's factory and whatnot. But with how slow the RE engine is, it would be a pain in the arse, wouldn't it? Imagine you're looking for something.
It would.
Like that would be hard.
It would, and I don't think we're adding forms of transport. I mean, come on, let's keep this realistic. It is Resident Evil at the end of the day. I mean, like, I know you can see a horse down here, or whatever, but I don't think that means you're gonna be able to ride a horse.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Just get a horse to Castle Dimitrescu.
Yeah, just fuck off on a horse to each location. But like David said, I think it'll be going from area to area, exploring that location, and then moving on to the next. But you can easily see how that works from this map. Like Castle Dimitrescu could eventually lead to House Benviento, I think is how you pronounce that.
I think so.
Because there's a bridge here. You can see it. I don't know what that says. It begins with an S, but I can make out the word bridge.
And it is possible that you could have a boat, because if you look where those gates are, they could lift up, right? You might have a boss battle there, of some sort.
Sluice gate. That says, yeah, definitely says.
Whatever that
gate.
thing is.
Yeah, this thing here.
That could be like a boss battle or something. But you could get the boat like around to near the graveyard again, which that would give you quite easy access, I suppose. Like you wouldn't have to run from like Heisenberg's factory up those stairs, through that house, through the bridge. Like I think a boat's possible. Isn't there steps going down there? Actually, I think steps go down there. I mean, that's so hard to see. It's possible though.
You believe it or not, you can make out more on this map than you'd originally think. Like I know it's very blurry, but a lot of it you can actually make out when you look into it and you actually like look deep into it. You can make out quite a bit. So yeah, it is very possible you could use a boat. This leads to like this area, this ceremony, so that could be the case, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have any form of transport. But if we were to have a form of transport or some sort of fast travel system, it would definitely be what you said. I think it'd definitely be some sort of boat.
Yeah, it's possible. And I was only thinking of RE4, where you use a boat in that, and then you've got a boss battle there.
Right, Del Lago,
and whatnot. So it could be a bit like that. You never know.
I'm very interested in Heisenberg's factory, because we've literally seen nothing of this. And I know a lot of people think that Heisenberg is the dude with the glasses, but that isn't actually confirmed yet. A lot of people are actually calling him Heisenberg, but I believe that's not confirmed at all. I honestly don't think that's Heisenberg at all. I just don't.
I don't think sure, honestly. It's hard to say.
I don't think that's him. It is hard to say. It could be him. Could definitely be him.
I mean, it's because
but there's also speculation that he turns into the big wolf with the hammer. And if that's the case, that'd be around this area, no? That's when we see it drop in. So I don't know how that works. He can't be here and here at the same time. So, I don't know. I just don't get the vibe that he is Heisenberg.
Yeah, the werewolves are definitely by that house in the actual village.
Yeah.
Heisenberg's factory, it's possible that it's him. And I think what kind of hints at it being him is that, you got all those cogs and stuff that is floating around him.
Yeah, good point.
But it could also be like underneath
kinetic energy or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what he's doing. But it could also be underneath Castle Dimitrescu.
It's very interesting when you sit here and think, like, what is the structure of this game going to be? How can you start here, but then go to what seems to be the biggest part of the game, which is Castle Dimitrescu, when we haven't seen anything of Heisenberg's factory, we haven't seen anything of this house, we haven't seen anything of Moreau's, I think that's how you pronounce it, Moreau's Reservoir. Like, what the hell is this about? We don't see anything to do with this at all.
The stronghold too. I mean,
the stronghold up here.
I know you're talking houses, but it's still all mysterious. They've shown so much, but then kept so much under wraps. I'm surprised at how much we've got from the trailers and the gameplay.
That's why I feel like this game is going to be massive, because we've got so much content already, yet we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to parts like this mill here, this bridge, this Heisenberg's factory. Like, we literally only know of one other house at the minute, and that is this. That's the only place we've seen is Castle New Jerusalem. We haven't seen anything about these.
I mean, we've got we've got a demo showing off the graphics. Well, Maiden, which is canon, so there's story there. But even with that, you can't really go off much. Like, you can't predict where it's going to go. I think Capcom's done an amazing job with how they've been doing all the trailers, marketing this game, because they've given us so much, but then like there's nothing spoiled. Yeah,
they definitely have. I 100% agree with that. They haven't. I mean, I know supposed leaks have come out. I haven't luckily seen anything yet, but I know leaks have come out and stuff, but that's not Capcom themselves, that's just leakers. But yeah, in terms of what they've shown and stuff, they've kept things very, very like showing us a lot, but without spoiling practically anything. So yeah, on to the sort of last thing I want to speak about, and it's something that we spoke about mostly prior to this video and was like prepping for it, is this area here.
Oh yeah, right.
Some sort of circle, and it goes into what we see over here. This little, like, I don't know what you'd call this. It's like legend or whatever. You see the umbrella logo in the middle, all the houses on the corners, and then something in the middle. Now, it's Resident Evil. There's got to be a lab. A lab has appeared in every single Resident Evil game. Even in games like Resident Evil 6, as crap as they are, there is still a lab in that game. Like, a lab has been present in every single Resident Evil game. Even games like Survivor. You know what I mean? So I'm betting 100% that there's a lab in this game, and if there is a lab, I bet it is here. You go underground, maybe around this area or something. There's got to be a lab somewhere. There has to be. I don't see what else this could mean. Like, with the 4 houses, and then in the middle there's something with an umbrella logo. It just makes sense to me.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking that with now those 4 kings, but that's not really in the center like that is. That's more towards that house. So it's possible, and the way it's shown on the map, it could be nothing. But it does remind me. It reminds me.
It could be.
You think?
Yeah, it could be, because this isn't directly center either. Like, I don't think you can go whether it's directly center.
Actually, good point.
Because that would be like around here or something. I do think that it is possible for it to be one of these 2 locations.
There's definitely an underground part. Like, every game's had it.
This could be nothing, obviously.
It could just be a fucking pond. It could be just like
yeah, it literally could be that. But that's what this video is for. Speculation, just going through the map, what we think could be the case. But I think the most interesting thing to take from this video is this part that David noticed, which I'm still that's got me really hyped. The fact that this is the ceremony, I'm certain that's the ceremony site, and this is where the
4 houses come together, and whatever this ceremony is about.
Yeah, this is the thing. We don't know what the hell this ceremony is about. I'm not even going to try and begin to predict what this could literally be.
There's
anything.
So
I don't
much
think
you could say that what this could be.
Maybe we could have a separate theory video like talking about what they need Rosemary for.
Well, yeah, we're planning to do a few of those anyway, leading up to the game's release. So
right, exactly. But yeah, I think that is the most interesting part of this map. The fact that you have this location here, we know of a ceremony. It makes perfect sense that this is what it is. I reckon this game's going to take us, like me and David, when we play the game, we play it like together. We play it at the exact same time. We start at the exact same time, and we just take it all in. We've done it with Resident Evil 2. We've done it with every Resident Evil game we've played, and with how detailed we look at everything. I'm talking, we look at everything.
Yeah, when you get
the smallest of stuff.
When you get a main, like a Resident Evil release, we just take it all in, because we just embrace everything. Look at everything. So, and this one's very interesting because of the umbrella stuff. Like, it goes way back. Yeah. So
that's what's got me most intrigued. I think it's what's got most people intrigued is the umbrella link to this game, because it means we're getting some. It means we're getting some shit that we knew nothing about prior.
Exactly, and it links back to
the origins of the series.
Exactly, and this links back to the Spencer Mansion at the beginning. Origins of Umbrella.
So to conclude this video, let's talk about some of the things you can make out in this map. It says something house here, stronghold. So we have a stronghold that we're going to go to, and that looks like an interesting part of the map. Yeah. You have something mill. It seems to be a lot of the first words I can't make out. Like, I can definitely see that says house. That
and it's done on purpose. Like, they know what they're doing. It's like underneath village. You can't read any of that. I would love to read it, but it's just impossible.
Yeah. So you've got all that. There's a bridge there that possibly links to House Benviento eventually. Maybe we're not entirely sure. Ceremony site. I'm certain that's what that is. I've said that multiple times now. It was a good catch by David there. Maiden of Wine. I'm certain that is what that says. You've got sluice gate, a windmill. Obviously, you see the windmill there. and yeah, Heisenberg's factory, the 4 houses, Castle Dimitrescu and whatnot. So you can actually make out more on this map than you think. I think that's why people don't, or why I haven't seen many people delve into this yet, because I think at first glance you probably think, you can't make out anything in this map, it's blurry as shit, and it is.
The more you stare at it, you notice things.
Yeah, the more you stare at it, you notice things, like the 4 kings.
Yeah,
there.
and I'm probably going to notice things after this video. I just know I am. But
I mean, if we do, we'll be sure to mention it in a future video. So yeah, I'm hyped for this. Honestly, May 7th can't come faster. It is so annoying knowing that it's like 4 months away at the minute, but it is. When that day comes, it is going to be fantastic, and we'll be sure to cover Resident Evil 8 all the way up until the release, even on release, after release, the lore we find out in the game. There'll be loads of videos following, actual lore videos then, because it's stuff that we can actually delve into and stuff we'll know about because of the game, obviously playing
Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff.
But yeah, that about wraps up our thoughts for the map. We just sort of wanted to jump into this and just talk on the fly, because we was having a conversation about this before, and we was literally looking at this map. We didn't look too much into it, but we noticed a few things, at some of the names and stuff, and we thought, why not just turn this into a video? Like, we're literally analysing the map now, why not just have the thing recording, and then, you know, try and get some discussion in and see if anyone else can notice stuff. So if there is anything that you have to offer in the comments, maybe something you've noticed, something that you can connect from just us speaking and it's just clicked in your mind, definitely leave it down below in the comments, because I've honestly not seen a lot of people speak about the map. It's like one of the things that has been out there since the showcase, so at least like 10 days now, and I've literally seen no conversation about it. So be sure to leave all that down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more Resident Evil content. We have a bunch of videos planned. Leave this video a like, it does help us out a lot. It may not seem like it, but it does, especially for a small channel with only 18 subs, but at the time we're recording this. We hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, cheers for watching, everyone.